Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the video. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is going to be my March TBR. Now in March, I am doing a couple readathons, which I will talk about at the end. But first, let's do a quick overview of February to see how many rolls I need to do. So in February, I did 6 rolls. I got 6 books. I have read 3 of them, like started, finished, completed fully. I have started one, and I do plan on trying to start another before the end of the month, but I've at least done 3, which is half of the books on my TBR, which is all I need to pass. So we will just be doing 6 rolls on the board. So let's just jump in with roll number 1 and see what that gets me. So here is the board. As I said before, we're doing 6 rolls unless we get any doubles, and obviously we will add a roll. Jesus Christ. But let's start off with roll number 1, which is a 2, which is double. Okay. So 1, 2. So over a 4.00 rating on Goodreads. So as long as the average star rating is above a 4, it counts for this prompt. So we started with a double. That's fine. Fun fact, that is actually the first double of the year, which, shocker, I know. But for this, we got over a 4.00 rating on Goodreads, as I said, as long as it's above a 4-star rating. And for that, I am picking Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 7th and final book in the Throne of Glass series, and this has a really high Goodreads rating. I want to say it's like 4.5 something or 4.4 something, something like that, but it is definitely over a average 4-star rating. As I said, this is the 7th book in the Throne of Glass series, so I'm not really going to explain it. But yes, am I putting a 984 page book? To be fair, I do plan on buying the paperback to tab the paperback. This is just the hardcover that I have. So that's the first book. Okay, roll number 2 of 7, because of course I mentioned something about doubles and I jinxed myself. Okay, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, a TBR Vet. So a TBR Vet I call something that has been on I specifically say my physical TBR for over a year, or my Goodreads TBR for over 2 years. For roll number 2, we got TBR Vet, which, as I said, is either on my physical TBR for over a year or on my Goodreads TBR for 2. And I'm going to be reading The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune, which I've had on my Goodreads TBR since September 2020. So definitely over 2 years, more like 2.5 years. And this, I honestly don't really know much about this. Linus Baker is a by-the-book caseworker in the department in charge of magical youth. At 40, he lives in a tiny house with a devious cat and his old records for company, but his quiet life is about to change. Linus is summoned by extremely upper management and given a curious and highly classified assignment. Travel to an orphanage on a distant island and determine whether 6 dangerous magical children are so dangerous, in fact, that they are likely to bring the end of days. This is one of my friend Clint's favorite, and to kind of spoil a plan for a vlog, you also might see some other books on here that are recommended to me by Clint. So this is another book. This one I definitely will be reading in the first week, because actually my library hold is up on the 2nd. So there is a chance I might start this like a day or 2 before the end of the month, just so that I don't have to go over my library hold. But I'm still putting on my March TBR because it's going for a video project in March. I hope that doesn't count as cheating. My TBR game, my rules. Roll number 3 of 7, which is 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2023 TBR, I made a list of, like, I made a video about this, and so I'll just pick one of the books off that list. Rule number 3 gave a 2023 TBR. I did a video of 23 books I want to read in 2023, which I'll link up in the iCard. I think it's this side. And basically that is 23 books that I want to read in 2023, aka my 2023 TBR. How many times did I say 2023? Probably way too many. But for this, I'm picking Unhinged by Only James. This is the first book in the Necessary Evil series, which is a 7-book series. So basically there is this scientist named Thomas who adopted these 7 boys who all of them are deemed as like medically deemed psychopaths, and he trains them to be killers, to kill the people that get away from the law. And each book is about one of the brothers and their romance with their respective love interests. And both my friends Clint and Reese love this. They recommended it to me so many times. I've basically been yelled at them multiple times over the last few months to read it, so I'm reading it now. Rule number 4 of 7. 4 of 8. Okay, why is it with double ones? So 1, 2. We have a poll pick, so I will put a poll up probably on Twitter, and it'll be like an emoji poll or something, and whatever wins after a couple of days is what I read. For poll pick, which was a double, so we're up to 8. Everything's fine. But for this, I put a poll up on my Twitter, which I gave 4 emojis that each corresponded to a book. And the one that won, I will pop up what the poll is here, was The Knife, which is The Murder Between Us by Tal Bauer. Yes, I had to think if that's how that's pronounced. Yes. But this, all I know is that basically you are following these 2 guys who are working on solving a murder. Like they don't know each other before it, and then like their 2 various teams are like brought in to solve this murder, and they fall in love because of working together on this murder. I think that's the plot, or at least that's what I remember Clint saying, because this is a recommendation by Clint. And so I'm excited to read this because I feel like I'll enjoy it. Rule 5 of 8, is that correct? We'll go with that, which is a 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A chance. So chance is a equal amount of books that I really want to read and I don't want to read. By I don't want to read, it's just more of they're ones that maybe I'm not as interested anymore, or they're just ones that I don't want to read right now. So I shuffled these before I started, and let's see what it is. The Dead Enders by Erin Salden. Ooh, me and my friend were actually just talking about this book a few days ago, of how I've had it for a while and I kind of want to read it, so okay. And then we got Chance, which gave us The Dead Enders by Erin Salden. This, I don't know anything about really. This is a book that I ordered from Book Outlet in early 2021 maybe, but I'll just read the back. In a place like Gold Fork, sometimes a secret is the only thing that's really yours. Anna, Davis, Eric, and Georgie know the best. Bound together by a horrible tragedy from their past, they forge a friendship that has lasted throughout high school. In a town full of weekenders, they all know what it is to be dead enders, fated to stay trapped in a tourist destination for the rest of their lives. But with the appearance of a long-lost family member and an arsonist setting the town ablaze, it's time to confront the fact that what brought them together years ago might be what ultimately tears them apart. Because someone is keeping one last secret, a truth that could change everything. That sounds really good. I don't really read that many like mysteries / thrillers. Also, the text is massive, so this should be an easy read. So there's another book on the TBR. Roll 6 of 8. If that's wrong, we're going with what I say, but that sounds right. Which is 7, and I will just rotate the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A Standalone. for Standalone, I don't read that many standalones. So this was kind of difficult, but I ended up picking Someday by Emma Scott. I know nothing about this. In all honesty, I know absolutely nothing about this. But it is a romance that was recommended to me by Clint. So it's being added to the TBR. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so I can easily read it. So it's perfect for a standalone. Okay, roll 7 out of 8, I think. Which is 5, and I will just rotate the board. So, Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Physical, so a physical book, as long as I'm reading it physical, whether that be I own it or I'm borrowing the physical book from my library. For physical, I will be reading Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. Thank you so much to Karina for buying me this book for my birthday. I'm so happy that I have it. But this, all I know is it's a dark mafia romance, so I will read the back. A match made in hell. The Griffins and the Gallows have been battling for control of Chicago's underworld for generations. Their bitter rivalry reignites when Ada, the youngest and wildest Gallows sibling, crashes a party at the Griffin mansion, accidentally setting fire to the library. To stave off all-out war, her father arranges a marriage with Callum Griffin, eldest son and heir. Cold and ambitious and brutal, Callum is determined to tame his headstrong bride. Ada is more than capable of giving as good as she gets, starting with poisoning Callum on their wedding night. In their struggle for dominance, who will break first? I am so excited about this. This also has some illustrations in it. That one I cannot show. But like it has like some like illustrations in it as well, and I'm so excited to read this. This is one of the few dark romances that I own physically, so I'm so excited that I have it. And will this be the final roll? Roll 8 out of 8. It is. So which is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, under a 3.99 on Goodreads. So it has to have a rating lower than a 3.99. I find it funny how we got over and then now we got under. That's kind of funny. And then roll number 8 gives us under a 3.99 rating, and for this I'll be reading Gilded by Marissa Meyer. It has a 3.6 something, I think, on Goodreads, or at least when I checked it had something like that. I could be entirely wrong, but it was under 3.99. This I will be reading for the Recreate Books book club that is ran by Ashley from Ashley's Media Addiction. And this, all I know is it's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling. I've enjoyed what I read by Marissa Meyer so far, so I'm really hoping I enjoy this. Again, I don't really know much about it, so yeah. So that's what I'm reading for like my official TBR. Okay, insert future me forgetting that I didn't do a TBR jar pick. I was literally editing this and I was like, wait a second. There's no clip of me doing this, and then I remembered I didn't pick anything. So let's just pick this out now. This is just a jar filled with all of the ebooks that I own up to date to the end of January. I haven't added February's in yet. I'll add February's in at the end of February. But we are just going to pick one. I'm kind of scared, but also the TBR jar pick last month gave me a good one. Let's go with this one, which is, I'm kind of scared, Maverick by Brenda Rothert. I don't know what this one is. I need to Goodreads it. I just filmed the entire clip of me saying this without realizing I wasn't recording, but I found it. It is a hockey romance. But so basically this is a hockey romance where basically you are following Maverick, who after a fight and seemingly ended his career, he's now back and is going to be the captain of like a new expansion team. I don't know what that means. I'll figure it out. And so the contract comes with one rule, no romantic distractions, because the fight that he got into was caused by fighting an opponent over a woman. And then you're also following Gia Ford, who is she makes her living via poker, and basically the two of them meet and there is chemistry, and the description is like the final word, like line of the description is, in Vegas there's only one way to settle it, a bet, of course. So it's like there's a bet. Okay, this one I'm actually really excited for. So let's go back to what we were doing. Now let's move on to the readathons. I'm participating in one fully, one partially, and one very loosely, if that makes any sense. So the one I'm participating in pretty dang hard is Spring Into Reading, which is hosted by Clint from Read Readers, Kaylani from Kaylani Simply Me, and Mel from Completely Melanie. I will leave their announcement videos down below. But this is a month-long readathon that is like spring based, and so I will go through the thing. They have a bingo board, but instead of showing you the bingo board, I'm just going to say what prompts and what books. If I've already talked about them, I will not be talking about them more, but let's just jump in. So I brought my laptop up to my lap, just so that I can see these better, but prompt number 1, spring cleaning. Read a book that has been collecting dust on your TBR. The Dead Enders by Erin Salden. New Beginnings, read a first book in a series. Brutal Prince is the first book in the Brutal Birthright series. I think that's the series. Prompt number 3 is Wet T-shirt Contest, read a smutty book. Brutal Prince by Sophie Lark. Road Trip, listen to an audiobook. I will probably be listening to the audiobook of A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, which is the second book in the A Court of Thorn and Roses series, which is a kind of Beauty and the Beast retelling. Basically, you follow a human girl named Feyre who ends up killing a wolf that is actually a fairy, and in exchange for killing the fairy, she ends up having to go spend her days in the fairyland as part of like her punishment by the Fae, and things change, things happen all over the place. I'm so excited to be continuing the series. I read ACOTAR in, was it October, I think, when I started my reread, and I haven't continued, so let's continue this, hopefully. Let It Shine elements on the cover: water, fire, earth, wind. House in the Cerulean Sea, there is water. Stormy weather, read a book that intimidates you. Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. I know I'm gonna cry about this. It's also chunky, and I don't know, it just intimidates me even though I've already read it. Prompt number 7, spring fashion, read a book with a beautiful cover. This is just stunning in my opinion. Like, it is just like, it's strawberries and like leaves, and I just love it. Prompt number 8 is rewind, read a past season-a-thon group book or author. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. TJ Klune was the spring 2022 author for Spring Into Reading. Prompt number 9, April showers, read a book that will make you sad. I'm going to be sad to finish the series, to read this book, because there is some sad moments, and in general, I will probably be sobbing like a baby when I finish this. So, definitely will make me cry. Luck of the Irish, read a book with green on the cover. Brutal Prince, it has green leaves. Prompt number 11 is a self-care, take a day to yourself. Obviously, I will just take a day for myself. Prompt number 12, Prom Queen, read a popular book. The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Prompt number 13, read the group book, which is Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I have already read this, so I will not be reading it, although I probably will read another Ali Hazelwood book to fill this spot, to read something by Ali Hazelwood to kind of, even though it doesn't count to the square, I'm counting it because, Clint, if you're watching this, I can do that, right? I can read another Ali Hazelwood book and count it. If you say no, I still will probably do it because, I don't care. Sorry if the camera angle changed. I'm doing like some like hanging out with friends and we were doing sprints, and so I'm filming in these sprints. So I had to use my phone to do things, and so moved it, but that's not the point of this. We were on prompt number 14, Spring Forward. Read the next book in a series. Where is the book that I picked for this? I just have stacks of books around me. A Court of Mist and Fury. This is the second book in a series, so it is the next in a series. Number 15, Love is in the Air. Read a romance or a book centered around friendship. This is both. It has romance and it centers around friendships. Like, if you know the Inner Circle, those are like the epitome of friendships. Like, I would kill to join that friend group. And also Over the Rainbow. Read a classic or retelling. A Court of Mist and Fury. This is very loosely a Hades and Persephone retelling. Like, it's not, but it is, but it isn't, but it is. So we're counting it because it kind of is a retelling. So yeah. Number 17, read a book with travel or vacation. Kingdom of Ash. We have characters going all over the continent and all over, like, into a different continent. Is it for vacation? Absolutely not. But are they traveling? Yes, they're traveling in war, but it counts. Prompt number 18, refresh your TBR. Get yourself a new book. I will honestly probably be buying Covet by Tracy Wolff. Probably buying a paperback of this if I can find this original cover in paperback. I can't find it anywhere because I need this cover in this book. If anybody has one and they're willing to sell, DM me somewhere, please. I'm seriously not joking. If I cannot find it other places, I will buy secondhand off somebody. That was entirely irrelevant. For prompt number 19, Women's March, read a book featuring a strong female protagonist. We have so many. Aelin, Manon, Alid, Lysandra. Who else? There's more. The entire 13. So yeah. There's multiple in here. Prompt number 20, Friendship Bracelets, buddy read a book. I have two options for this. A Court of Mist and Fury, because I am like kind of doing like a read along of all of the Sarah J Maas books with some friends, or Brutal Prince because this is the CBC, like one of the CBC, which is a kind of like a buddy read group that I'm in, pick for March, so one of these. Prompt number 21, Flower Power, read a book with flowers on the cover. I don't think I have any books that have flowers on the cover. I mean, I don't think so, but I will figure that out as the month happens. Prompt number 22, read like an Aries. Read a book under 250 pages. For this, I will be reading Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood, which is the first book in the STEMinist novellas, which are kind of a series of novellas where the main female protagonist is a woman in STEM. And like they're short, like under 200 pages. And I figured read an Ali Hazelwood book because one of her books is the group book, so kind of a nod to that. Prompt number 23, Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Read a book with pink or yellow on the cover. Just, it's yellow. It's yellow. That's all I need to say. Spring Court. Read a book with fairies in it. This is literally fae. I mean, this also works, but this one literally Spring Court. There is a place called the Spring Court in this series. It works perfectly. And for prompt number 25, which is the final prompt, Tiny Umbrellas, drink your favorite iced beverage. I will probably count my iced coffee that I have every morning as my favorite beverage because I have it every morning. Now, on to the other readathons that I'm doing. One that I'm doing, like, why I say I'm doing it loosely is I am, like, not setting a TBR, but any book that I read that fits the prompts, I will put it as a prompt, which is Marvelathon, which is hosted by Lisa from Lisa Does Life. I will link it down below. Basically, the whole kind of plot of it is Team OG versus Team New Gen. So OG are some of the like original Avengers, and Team New Gen is more of the newer like Avengers. So I will just list out the prompts. So how it works is you have one group, there's one group prompt. I'm doing Team OG, and that is to read a backlist book. So I think that would be anything like 2020 older. I don't actually know the exact specifics, but I will figure that out when I go to actually track my things. And then there are 5 prompts for Team OG that are like our prompts. We get more points for using those prompts, which is Black Widow, read a dark book; Hulk, a book with opposites; Iron Man, a book where the main character does something unexpected; Captain America, character goes through a transformation; and Hawkeye, a book with strong family themes. So I will find books throughout the month to shove in there. And then there's Team New Gen, which I can use those prompts, I just get less points, which are Scarlet Witch, set in an alternate reality; Thena, a book with a battle; Groot, a book with wood/trees on the cover; Moon Knight, a book with mental health rep; and Ant-Man, a funny book. And then there's also a couple general prompts that like anybody can use that just get you a couple extra points, which is disability rep, POC rep, LGBTQIA+ rep, includes a Marvel character, and poll pick. So that's that. And then I also will very, very loosely be participating in the Final Book Support Group, which is hosted by Steph from Steph Loves. I'll leave the announcement video down below. Basically how this round works is there are 4 teams, and you like pick a team, and like you pick a cabin and you do the prompt for that. Why I say I'm kind of participating is I'm just going to try to read some final books, and if I read even one final book, I'm counting the readathon as complete. It is kind of like to be fair, the cabins are just a guideline. I figured I should mention it because I am doing it, just not officially. There is a chance that I might read final books that fit the prompts for a cabin, and if that happens, great, fantastic. But my goal is to finish like 2 or 3 series in March. I'm not setting which ones besides this one. That's the only one that I'm saying I'm for sure finishing that series off. I do have a couple others for either finishing the series or continuing the series that I do want to get to, but I'm not going to force myself and put them on this TBR and then feel guilty for not doing that. So yeah, I think that is everything. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what is one book that you are reading in March, or if you are interested in any of these, or your thoughts on any of these books. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel grow, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!